Are the Knicks finally contenders in 2026? Let's break down the biggest season for New York in a decade. With the team in win now mode, it's make or break time for the New York Knicks. In this video, we're breaking down the Knicks' projected starting lineup, key offseason moves, biggest X factors, and how far this team can really go. If you like more NBA, MLB, and NFL content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It really helps out, make us make more stuff in the future. The Knicks starting lineup can go one of three ways. I have three options on the screen for the lineup. So lineup A is Brunson, Bridges, Hart, OG, Cat. Lineup B, Brunson, McBride, Bridges, OG, Cat. And lineup C, Brunson, Bridges, OG, Cat, Mitch. The Knicks starting five from last year wasn't enough, and with Mitch fully healthy, the Knicks should go with lineup C in my opinion against teams with top offensive centers, and B against teams without the same center prowess. I think switching between these lineups based on the matchup keeps the lineup both fresh and preserves Mitchell Robinson's minutes. As a guy who can get hurt often, it's important to keep him healthy. Now for the Knicks offseason, their biggest move was firing Coach Tom Thibodeau and bringing in Coach Mike Brown. In terms of players, the bench has greatly improved this offseason. The additions of Jordan Clarkson and Guerschon Yabusele are absolutely huge for this team, but what they also gain essentially is a whole new rookie class. The Knicks last year seldom played their rookies, and now in year two with a coach who's more willing to play the young guys, Dadier, Kolek, and Hukporti will all get chances to contribute off the bench, and after a full season of showing flashes with the Westchester Knicks, if the Knicks can get valuable minutes from just any of these three guys throughout the season, that's a huge game changer. I think you basically are adding 5 players to the bench because these guys did not get minutes last season, but I think when they did get their little bit of minutes, they showed flashes, and now they're going to get full-time roles, I believe, off the bench with the Knicks if they earn it, and I think Mike Brown will give that to them, and I think that's going to be huge. The Knicks didn't make any major moves. Their top 7 is the exact same. That's because they were in a situation where they didn't have to make moves around the top 7. Guys are really going to make a difference is the guys outside of the top 7. They need to make sure to keep their guys in the top 7 rested by using their bench. Their bench depth killed them last season, especially against Indiana. Boston, it killed them too. They made miraculous comebacks, but they really could have lost that series very easily. I think adding Jordan Clarkson and Yabusele is huge. Getting a microwave scorer like Clarkson off the bench is the best move this team has made, and I think that's going to pay dividends throughout the season. Now let's go over the team's strengths and weaknesses. For starters, the Knicks have 2 of the premier offensive players in the entire NBA. When Cat and Brunson are on, there's absolutely no stopping either of them. Both can score at all 3 levels. Both can play make at an elite level. And offensively, there's nothing these guys leave to be desired. They also have 2 of the best two-way players in the entire NBA in OG Anunoby and Macau Bridges. Both are consistently in all defensive talks, and both could be the team's top scorer in any given night. Thibs lacked giving these guys chances to show how great they could be under offensively, and under new head coach Mike Brown, look for these two to be making huge impacts on both ends of the floor this year. For weaknesses, the Knicks struggle when they roll out lineups of Cat, Brunson, and Hart. Defensively, for as good as Cat and Brunson are, defensively, they leave much to be desired. Down on the other end, so that the Knicks are to make sure, especially in the regular season, to stagger their minutes so that they can surround them with defenders and they aren't giving up too much defensively. And also, when they share the court together, pair them with OG, Bridges, and Robinson, because these guys are 3 of the top defenders in the entire NBA. So if you surround them with those 3, they could really make up for them. Their defense, and then they could show their offensive prowess and, outscore the other team on the other end. In terms of injury concerns, the Knicks' expanded bench should help a lot. Of course, anything can happen injury-wise, but if the Knicks can limit the starters' minutes throughout the season and maximize use of their bench, they can greatly reduce the wear and tear on the starters. I think keeping Mitchell Robinson healthy is going to be absolutely crucial for this team. He is a guy who's struggled with injuries a lot, but when he's healthy, he is just one of the best defenders in the entire league at the center position. Leave a comment down below. What do you think the Knicks' biggest strength and biggest weakness is heading into 2025 and 26, and what can they do to address that weakness? In terms of win total, the Knicks the last 2 seasons have won 50 and 51 games respectively, but this year I project them to win 55 games and be a top 3 seed in the East yet again. They have gotten better, the bench has gotten deeper, Mike Brown was a good hire, and the East has gotten weaker, most importantly. The Celtics lost Tatum and sold a bunch of pieces this offseason like Porzingis and Drew Holiday. The Pacers lost Halliburton. The East is wide open for the Knicks now, and with an easier schedule based on the teams around them losing stars like the Celtics and Pacers, the Knicks should be winning more games than they have in the past few years. This team is a true championship contender and should be the favorite to come out of the East alongside the Cleveland Cavaliers. How Mike Brown steers this team is going to be absolutely crucial, and how the players outside of Brunson and Cat step up is going to be the difference maker, especially the bench, especially Bridges and Anunoby. Josh Hart, too, is going to need to make a good step up this year offensively and defensively. He does great in the hustle game, but I think he leaves a bit to be desired scoring-wise. He had a pretty poor shooting year last year. McBride, pretty poor shooting year last year. But both of those guys have shown how good they can be, and I think if they can be efficient, whenever they get the ball in their hands, I think that's something that will be absolutely crucial for this team. The biggest X factor for the Knicks this season is Macau Bridges, hands down. Bridges, who the Knicks gave up a haul of 6 first-round picks for, didn't play to that level in 2024 on either end, but I largely believe that this was a system problem. Bridges was consistently having to make up for Brunson and Cat on the defensive end, and with lineup changes and Mitchell Robinson back defensively, he can focus better on his role defensively and not spend too much time compensating for other players. On the offensive end, he's shown that he can be a team's top scorer like he did in Brooklyn a few seasons ago. The problem last year was that the team didn't draw plays for him, and he wasn't a focus on the offensive game plan. He does not need to be that top scorer he was in Brooklyn. He just needs to consistently score 18 to 20 a night. If he does that efficiently, the sky is the absolute limit for this team because Bridges is such a good player. He has so much potential. Mike Brown is a better offensive coach than Thibs, and very likely has been talked to by Leon Rose, who traded first-round picks for Bridges, so his reputation is kind of on the line, about implementing Bridges more in the team's top plays, and I think when they draw up plays for Bridges, it's worked out pretty well. I would not be surprised if the Knicks have 4 All-Stars this year, which would be a crazy prediction. That's a bold take of mine. I think the main 4 guys can all be All-Stars. I don't know if they will be, but that's my bold prediction for the year. Now I want to ask you, where do you see the Knicks finishing this year? Drop your predictions below. Do you think Bridges can have the type of year I've been talking about? Or do you think he just doesn't have it? You think they oversold for him and I think it's just not enough? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And next up, check out a video where we redrafted the 2020 NBA draft. You won't believe who's number 1. Yes, you will. It's Anthony Edwards. But the rest of the draft is very interesting. That was a very obvious pick for number 1, but the rest of the draft is very interesting, and see how your team shakes out and who your team's new player is. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.